It looks like another indictment, perhaps the most significant indictment, may be coming Donald Trump's way.
Yeah, we may be on the verge of that in just a couple of days. Just
well,
the last few
kids,
minutes, Joe, Donald Trump posted on Truth Social, his fledgling social media site,
himself,
to reveal this. I'm paraphrasing. He says he received a target letter from the Department of Justice, from Jack Smith's office, Sunday night, saying that he is indeed a target of the January 6th grand jury investigation. So a target letter, as we know, is usually a signal that an indictment is on the horizon. Trump goes on to say that he's been given just 4 days to report to court. Now, we haven't confirmed that yet. The Department of Justice has not weighed in yet, but Trump himself says this almost always means an arrest and an indictment. And then he goes on for 2+ pages on a screed against alleged bias in the system and stuff, which we will not repeat. But again, we know that he has already been charged with a crime federally for the mishandling of classified documents. We know he has already been charged with crimes in New York State for business practices. We believe that in a matter of weeks, a charge could come down in the state of Georgia for election interference. And now Trump himself is confirming that he's received a target letter
in the right spot
as
we go through this
interference probe. It's not just about,
and this is early this morning, because now it's getting deeper and deeper, and we're talking about it a little bit more and a little bit more.
Indictments. We talked about the possibility of 4 indictments before.
Hold on, let me just make sure.
There was always a skepticism that these indictments were going to come down because, again, you talk about Mueller, you talk about impeachment. Donald Trump was never held accountable for his actions. Here, you have the New York City indictment. You have, which some people questioned why it went first. Well, I think those questions are actually being answered by just how serious these other indictments are. You then had the documents, the Mar-a-Lago documents case that was brought in federal court in Florida, in South Florida. And there you have Donald Trump allegedly stealing nuclear secrets, stealing military secrets, stealing plans
and these were
to invade
stolen.
Iran,
Understand
refusing to give them back, waving documents around in recordings, saying I have all of these top secret documents that I can't show you,
and we still
that
have not even gotten to what's going to happen.
So all of that extraordinarily important.
Yeah, Bedminster is going to be a whole nother set of probably indictments that's going to come up. We are nowhere near the end, kids. We're just getting started, and it's kind of crazy.
For many Americans, that, while all of that's serious, the case that is most important for Donald Trump to be brought to justice to is, in fact, January the 6th.
And I think what we're about to have happen is going to be a lot of information really quickly, in a way that we're not used to, in a way that's going to be like, oh wow, that's a lot of information. That's a lot of shit all at one time. Can we handle all that? Because maybe not. Because I see when my sister and my family sometimes are just a little like, wow.
That's right.
And yeah, I think we're about to get an overwhelming amount of information.
That's where we sell.
Because part of what's going to come out from the January 6th investigation, I believe, is all the connections. And the fact that we have not heard anything yet from Mark Meadows, from Rudy Giuliani. Yes, I know we've heard that maybe he's not gotten a target letter, but he's, as close as you can get to a target letter. So the other thing is just, hold on, let me just see.
Live shows when we have them. We haven't booked one in a while. We got to do that.
Wrong timing. So let me go back to right quick.
Especially because you have so many working Americans that got involved in riots, brutalized police officers, nearly beat police officers to death, did things that they would never have done but for Donald Trump. This, according to them and their attorneys in front of federal judges. So if you're indicting all of these people, and there's so many people that have gone to jail.
Yeah, I get what he's saying, but I think what we're going to find that is going to be the problem is that meeting, that 6 or 8 hour meeting with a bunch of people that will get indicted with this January 6th crowd, which I believe is going to be Clark Eastman. Now see, Mark Meadows and Rudy Giuliani,
they have award-winning indictments.
I think that they probably gave up and that's what we'll figure out and find out. Is that Rudy is so scared of going to jail, even though he's about to lose all of his money to black ladies. Hate to tell you this. What little money he got left, he about to lose it to them black ladies because he done lied all over them. So that's about that. But Rudy Giuliani may end up being part of why this goes where it goes. Now hold on, let me see. What are they saying now?
And so he's got his hands full. If he's also expected now to be able to work on this case, if in fact the grand jury indicts on this issue as it relates to the former president's efforts to cling to power, that's going to be quite a lot, with a lot of different schedules, a lot of different legal arguments, motions that need to be filed on very specific dates. The Manhattan Hushmoney case already has.
Yeah, see, there's going to be a lot of cases going, I think, at a lot of different times, and that's what's going to be weird.
There's going to be a lot of work that needs to be done.
How? Okay, hold on.
And so I think
I knew that was going to happen. I need you
very strong,
to go back to here
deep bench
so that I can go
is
and
going to be something that hamstrings
find.
them.
Yeah, fortunately for us, Laura Jarrett is our senior legal.
Better attorney, Jack Smith or Tommy Boy?
Thanks so much.
Old Tommy T-shirt. Old Tommy wears his sister's little shirt. I'm telling you, these people are out of their minds. They have not reached their Kool-Aid moment yet. They will get to the Kool-Aid moment, but I don't know when. But it is a cult.
Oh, no, and I agree with him, but I don't think...
If you're standing around surprised that they're not supporting him,
I want to be clear that I believe that, yes, Right now, everybody is still screaming Trump, 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 Trump. I think what we're about to get, again, like I said, is this overload of information that unless you can stick your head way down in there, I mean, you're going to have to literally put your head so far into the ground, it's ridiculous. Because the group of people who actually did all of the January 6th stuff are going to have to be indicted at the same time. So like I said, I still believe it's going to be Eastman, it's going to be Mark Meadows, it's going to be Giuliani. I don't believe that they've gotten out of it. I think that they may have gotten to a point of a plea. Now remember, that plea doesn't have to happen right now. It's the guarantee of not being indicted. Or I should say of not being, well, to plead guilty instead of being indicted and going through the full trial. It's a deal. It's a deal. And I believe that Mark Meadows and Giuliani have given up for that deal. Because they've been the quietest. And the other part that's driving me nuts is the quietness of what's going on all the way around. On the January 6th, on New York. Because I believe when we get to New Jersey, now see, that's one of the things I'm going to have to find out. I'm going to have to get one of my friends that's actually worked in that area, is how they are going to do the Bedminster. Is the Bedminster going to definitely come out of New Jersey no matter what? Is that the way it's going to be? I'm wondering. I'm just wondering, because it's just New York. And I get the timing. I think people are frustrated by the timing, but I don't think the timing is going to be as big of a deal. I just don't. I see that the documents case is probably going to drag for a little while. And part of the reason he brought the documents case first, I believe, was not so much that he still wanted to finish up, although I believe, yes, he did still find stuff as he was getting to the end of the documents case. But the documents case is one of those cases, because it is documents, and there is a question there, a little question as to whether he could have held on to them. I mean, yes, the law says no, he can't, blah, blah, but you know how we've got a really weird-ass court. You know this court. And that's what I think he's doing. I think he's saying, hey, hold on, I want to make sure that this court is not going to throw everything away. So let's spread this shit out as much as possible and make the lion's share part that's going to be the hardest hit part come out of D.C. and New York or Manhattan. Now, it may be New Jersey that does it, but I can almost guarantee you there'll be people all over Manhattan that will also be there. I'm just doing quickie just because I just wanted to talk about the fact that it's going to happen. It's going to happen, and I think we're in for a week of figuring out how many people are really all in on this shit. How many people are we talking about?
MSNBC, how will a third possible federal indictment play for Donald Trump in the 2024 election? In just the last hour, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis was asked by our colleague, NBC's Gabe Gutierrez.
Sorry, I just want to hear this. I'm sorry. I think it's so cool. Wow.
Election.
Okay.
Here it is.
So, ask the number 2 guy about the indictment, and now he's going to say that it's a political thing, and that
between being brought up on criminal charges and doing things like, for example, I think it was shown how he was in the White House and didn't do anything while things were going on. He should have come out more forcefully. Of course that. But to try to criminalize that's a different issue entirely. And I think that we want to be in
I have a feeling he probably shouldn't have said anything about that, because I don't think that's what the charges are going to be about.
And that, unfortunately, is what we're seeing now.
No, I don't think so.
I think how that clears like the lowest possible hurdle for criticism of the former president. Joining me now is NBC News national correspondent Gabe Gutierrez.
That's pathetic, but that's where we're at.
It's kind of cool.
That's where we're at.
To drop that acquisition. So even some of these firms will initially attempt, and once Lena Khan and the FTC show some increased scrutiny, they drop it because they know that their cases will not win in court. So the over for.
You're on the ground there right now.
Let's just face it. It's going to be a few days worth of just trying to figure out what the hell's going on. As we get closer to figuring out what the hell all this means, how do we get through all this? What is it going to do? When is he going to become the indicted ex-president? It's going to take a little time. Yes, I know. It's going to be a little time. But look forward to it coming. It's coming. It's not going to come fast enough for anybody. Never does. That's just the way it is. We can't get through. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Now, finally, it's kind of funny how slow sometimes news starts to crawl. And it's just hitting my phone now that he, yeah. Even though the first thing I show you is something from early this morning, it's still just hitting. So look forward to really slowly go through the day, and we'll see how it ends. Because I think by 3 o'clock, we're going to be in a whole new world.
What would you do if there was a Trump supporter right in front of you?